Ladies and gentlemen, I have some positive news. Finally, I know that right now it feels incredibly helpless. I myself have been feeling helpless, but now the cracks are beginning to show and the truth is coming out. Ladies and gentlemen, we are winning as new leaks just revealed that Donald Trump's ICE is absolutely terrified of the backlash, which just means we need to keep protesting peacefully and we need to keep the heat up because the heat will melt ice. Now, at this point, nobody is okay with what is happening with ice, and more stories are coming out about the despicable treatment that so many detainees have faced.
And I never expected to be standing in front of all these cameras and microphones. But what happened to me cannot stay quiet. What happened to me was unjust, uncalled for. I was simply on my lunch break. I literally went downstairs from my building. I wasn't even outside for mere seconds before I seen a masked person running at me full speed. He tackled me, pushed me inside the restaurant, like as you can see in the video. I told him I'm a U.S. citizen, what is going on? He didn't seem to care. He dragged me outside through the snow while I was handcuffed, restrained, helpless, and he pushed me to the ground and he put me in a chokehold. That was very uncalled for. I thought I got really hurt. And after that, they put me inside the vehicle. And they asked me, we have to verify if you're a U.S. citizen because I believe you're an illegal citizen because you ran from me. But as you can see in the videos that will be released, I'm simply just standing still. I asked them, okay, they said, let me take a picture of you to scan your face to see if you're a U.S. citizen. I declined because how will a picture prove I'm a U.S. citizen? I told him I have my passport. It's in my phone. Can I open and show you? He declined. I told him, can I give you my name and my date of birth? He declined because they turned off my phone. They turned off my location. You don't know where you're at. So I asked them, can you take me back to where you picked me up from? They said, no, you have to walk in the snow. Like, they were being serious. I asked 3 times. They said, no, you're walking. But eventually my parents came and picked me up. And yeah, all I did was step outside as a Somali American, and I just got chased by a masked person. The agent then, at one point, he didn't identify himself. He didn't say, ICE, stop. Like, I felt like I was getting assaulted. I was getting kidnapped, and that's exactly what it was. And the way they were treating me, it was inhumane. They dragged me across the road. They slammed me to the ground, choked me. That was uncalled for. There's also more videos of someone came out. They had a copy of my passport. And I told the agent, he has my passport copy. And he said, we don't care, we're still taking you in.
Although that story is painful to hear, it is crucial that we listen to it because that is the truth. That is what's actually happening right now under Donald Trump's presidency. But still, we are winning, and Trump's ICE is kind of terrified. Take a look at this. What you're seeing right now may not feel like a victory, but the facts tell a very different story. According to newly leaked internal DHS and Border Patrol documents, first reported by investigative journalist Ken Klippenstein, the Department of Homeland Security is quietly scrambling behind the scenes following the killing of Renee Good. These aren't rumors, these are internal memos, deployment orders, and direct communications from DHS leadership obtained from within the agency itself. The leaks reveal that DHS is struggling to staff what it publicly calls Operation Metro Surge in Minneapolis. Instead of issuing firm orders, Border Patrol leadership sent out internal emails explicitly instructing supervisors to canvass for volunteers, asking agents to opt in, rather than requiring deployment. One Border Patrol agent familiar with the internal discussions told Klippenstein plainly, "We do have personnel. Some just don't want to go." Because inside DHS, agents are deeply concerned that political leadership is making the situation more dangerous, not safer. A senior career official at DHS headquarters warned internally that ICE's aggressive posture and inflammatory rhetoric from Washington are increasing the risk to agents themselves, fueling backlash rather than preventing it. And here's where the fear becomes undeniable. Leaked guidance sent to deploying agents instructs them to remove any visible law enforcement identifiers, turn off phone location tracking, and avoid drawing attention to themselves around hotels and public spaces. At the same time, DHS circulated a sudden legal refresher on use of force rules, something agencies do when they're worried about liability and misconduct. That is not confidence, that is damage control. Publicly, Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem continues to falsely label the shooting of Renee Good as domestic terrorism. Privately, agents and officials acknowledge that video evidence contradicts that claim and that leadership's dishonesty is eroding trust inside the agency. This is why this moment matters, because it proves something powerful. Pressure works, transparency works, accountability works. People feel helpless because the rhetoric is loud, but the reality is quieter and far more revealing. When an agency built on force starts begging for volunteers, issuing legal warnings, and telling its own agents to hide who they are, the narrative is already collapsing. And that means change isn't hypothetical anymore. It's already underway. Thanks so much for watching. Please click that like button and subscribe to Occupy Democrats so that you can stay informed and help us stop Donald Trump.